Today we're going to talk about something which has 10 huge health benefits. It increases your heart health by lowering blood pressure and also by balancing your estrogen and testosterone hormones, which in turn prevent not only heart disease but osteoporosis too. This is something which protects women from developing bladder incontinence and helps reduce men's risk of prostate cancer. That releases beneficial hormones like prolactin to improve sleep and regeneration, plus releases feel-good hormones and endorphins like oxytocin to relieve stress, therefore known as the antidote to depression. This works out your muscles, building cardiovascular, respiratory, and metabolic health. It increases your libido, and it actually increases immunity, defending your body against germs, viruses, and many unwanted intruders. However, this is a good point to make the grand reveal of today's topic and top 10 tests. Sex. Yes, sexual health is on the menu, and not just the health benefits, but also the benefits of extensive testing. So we all know sex sells, because let's face it, we buy into it on a daily basis. Movies, music, fashion, holidays, cars, binge TV, gym sessions all somehow revolve around sex in one way or another. The sexier something is, chances are, the more it sells, except for sexual health or sexually transmitted infections, which develop into sexually transmitted diseases, rather less alluring. Somehow we like to talk about it less, much less, and shockingly, many of us don't buy into it at all. If I ask a room full of fully grown, relatively intelligent adults to put up your hand if you have had sex, the vast majority of them would raise a hand in truth, perhaps pride. If I then asked the same crowd to raise up their second hand if they had looked after their sex life with a sexual health test for sexually transmitted diseases, why would I see more people with only one hand in the air instead of two? Our sexual health should not be ignored or undervalued. Looking after our sexual health should be important and praiseworthy. After all, would you rather meet your Prince Charming or Wonder Woman to find out they have a conscious, clean bill of health, or an unknown, unaddressed sexual scorecard? Furthermore, if you have already found a happily ever after partner and want to start a family, did you know there may be a minor underlying infection causing infertility that could be simply identified and easily treated without having to resort to expensive fertility treatments and emotional collapse? Agreeing that we would rather take care of our sexual health than let it lie dormant like monsters under the bed, let's look at the next most important point. STIs hunt in packs. This means if you have been in a position to pick up one sexually transmitted infection, then you've been in a position to pick up 10, at least. Therefore, you must test comprehensively. Test all 10 in order to make a test worthwhile and accurate for that matter. It's now easier than ever before to test the 10 most common, most treatable sexually transmitted infections. Check yourself out with the Confidant Kit from Randox Health. We're going to focus in on these 10 sexual infections. The 10 most common, most treatable infections must all be tested in order to know if you have them, to eradicate any that you do find, and to prevent disease. No other testing lab or medical provider will check you for all 10. Only Randox Health and Confidant test kits. They make it so easy. Using the innovative Randox technologies and private testing labs now made available directly to the public without a doctor's visit or prescription or less inviting sexual health clinic. Simply search online, Randox Health or confidanttest.com. Just to note, our 10 tests are not for the high-risk blood-based HIV or hepatitis. You can get those in many ways for many reasons. They might require a doctor and different sorts than ours. We're going to focus in on the urine test for the top 10 common, treatable, sexually transmitted infections from other bacteria, viruses, parasites. It'll be much less intimidating than it sounds. Please don't shy away. This is science that works to your advantage. So listen well this one time and benefit from it for a lifetime. After all, we get bacterial and viral infections in our respiratory systems almost every year, like the cold and flu. So let's check our reproductive systems in the same way, starting with your urine sample for these top 10 tests. Chlamydia, gonorrhea, herpes 1, herpes 2, treponema pallidum, syphilis, trichomonas vaginalis, mycoplasmas, ureaplasmas, cancroid, Something that surprises me during my all too frequent sexual health chats with people who may reluctantly admit to be my friends is that many people don't realize herpes 1 is the same virus as cold sores on the mouth, those small painful blisters on the lips, mouth gums, skin around the mouth. Hugely, more than 90% of the population is positive for herpes 1, and many people don't know they have it because they don't have visible outbreaks. This virus can actually be transmitted during oral sex to infect other openings of the body and cause sores there too. Herpes 1 is more likely to be passed on, but herpes 2 can be passed on to your partner during any form of sex, even if your partner's not currently showing any signs of the virus, like small painful blisters. Trichomonas, or TV, is caused by a parasite that attaches itself to the lining of the vagina and spreads during unprotected sex. The infection can weaken the protective mucus barrier of the cervix, which helps prevent infection to the female reproductive organs. Weakening this mucus, however, increases the risk of HIV infection, and if the infection develops during pregnancy, it can cause premature birth and low birth weight. Infection in males can clear itself after a few weeks, but some men may develop prostatitis from the parasite. Recent research also shows that an increased risk of prostate cancer in males with trichomonas, really emphasizing the need to diagnose asymptomatic males early and therefore get tested. Usually there's no simple symptoms, and therefore testing is essential to identify and eradicate. Mycoplasma hominis is a common bacteria present in almost all humans in the urinary tract. It affects up to 50% of sexually active males and females. Higher quantities cause the infection to actually be transmitted sexually. And the symptoms of Mycoplasma hominis infection are similar to many other STIs and mistaken for chlamydia and gonorrhea sometimes. You can also have Mycoplasma hominis and not experience any symptoms. It is different from other STIs in that monogamous couples can suddenly experience Mycoplasma hominis even after years of exclusivity, so get tested. Gonorrhea is a bacterium that can grow easily in the warm, moist areas of a female's reproductive system, including the cervix and the uterus, fallopian tubes. It also grows in the urethra, mouth, throat, eyes, and of both males and females. Gonorrhea can still be passed on via fluids even if a man doesn't ejaculate, and gonorrhea can lead to infertility and pelvic inflammatory disease. But it can be treated, and with antibiotics to remove the infection from the body, you can prevent long-term harm. Chlamydia can lead to infertility issues in women, causing damage to the uterus and fallopian tubes. This can also cause pelvic inflammatory disease, which affects a woman's ability to get pregnant and can lead to ectopic pregnancies. In men, it can cause infertility by infecting the tubes that carry sperm from the testes. Regular chlamydia testing can identify it early and help reduce the risk of these complications, which are higher in men who have sex with men due to anatomical reasons and permeable membranes. Mycoplasma genitalium is a lesser known STI, but it's very common and frequently occurs together with other STIs. It also has similarities to both chlamydia and gonorrhea in both symptoms and consequences. Often you don't show any symptoms. It's difficult to know you have it unless you get tested. Human genital ulcer disease, cancroid, shows early signs that may be mistaken for syphilis, but these ulcers or sores will grow to be larger in size and more painful. Although this is highly contagious, it is easily treated. Syphilis can be passed on from one person to another through any form of sex and by direct skin contact with syphilis sores or rashes. Symptoms do not have to be present for it to be passed on, and it can still be transmitted even after your sores have disappeared. Pregnant women can pass this to their unborn baby, and it's not treated. It can spread to other parts of the body with long-term complications such as damage to the heart, brain, eyes, and other organs. Ureaplasma urolithium is very contagious and is commonly found in the genital flora of sexual active individuals. Left untreated, ureaplasma urolithium can be associated with infertility, premature or stillbirth, nonspecific urethritis, even meningitis and pneumonia. If the infection is left untreated for several months, it can spread to other parts of the body and damage joints, nerves, and muscles. All of these can impact both men and women of any sexual orientation with any form of unprotected sexual activity, including sharing sex toys. Sexual infections can be the cause of infertility in men and women, plus the possibility of passing these to a newborn baby during childbirth should be avoided at all costs. Therefore, always check yourself out pre-pregnancy. So, let's avoid the odors and discharge, the risk of spreading blisters and sores, the long-term internal damage with or without symptoms. Let's make sure if you're trying to get pregnant, you first gain full peace of mind for you two to enjoy the ride. Let's prevent pelvic inflammatory disease, infertility, ectopic pregnancy, cervical cancer, and passing infections onto babies. Let's avoid nasty complications in the long run, like blindness, brain damage, genital cancer, heart disease, total infertility, or birth defects. But we aren't here for the bad news, we're here for the good news. And Randox has the goods and the goodness to make them directly available to everyone. 10 innovative yet straightforward tests get your personal private answers back as black and white results. It's not all 50 shades of grey, you know. Randox have the answers and are making it easier than ever before with a kit to your door. Take a simple urine sample and send it to our private laboratories, where your data is safe and never shared with any third parties, not on your public health records or medical records, not with your doctor, not with your insurance company. All 10 tests will be reported to you in the most discreet and convenient way, without you ever having to go to a doctor's clinic or a genitourinary medicine ward or any kind of lab where, let's face it, oftentimes it feels like there's much more to pick up than to drop off there. The Confidant test from Randox Health is designed by experts to be quick and easy to use. Purchase a urine collection kit online, confidanttest.com, receive the box through your letterbox or to the address of your choosing. It arrives as an unidentifiable package and is not named on your bank statement. Follow the simple set of instructions to collect your urine sample and pack it into the transport tubes. Should you have any blister or sore to swab, there is a sterile swab and tube with collection instructions also. Use the transport tubes and enclosed envelope to ship your sample to our private lab. Once you send us your sample, our laboratory will do all the work. Results will be clear, easy to understand, and sent directly to you via phone or email as you choose. It can be paperless, it can have minimal online footprints, it can even have a pseudonym. I think we even checked a Mr. Donald Duck one time. We do need your correct gender, date of birth, date of sample collection, and unique reference number provided in your kit, plus a preferred way to contact you for your results. All of that in less than 7 days, like a confidential, convenient, comprehensive concierge for your private parts. To get healthy and stay healthy, altogether peace of mind, and we agree, something to be proud of, please. Sexually transmitted infections are on the increase, unfortunately, with many showing no symptoms. It is possible to have an STI and not know about it. So if you're concerned or your sexual health due to recent events or symptoms, change in partners, or if you simply want peace of mind, the best pre-checkup before starting a family or starting expensive fertility treatments, you and your partner can get the solution today. Interestingly, we find more women positive than men, and many people now test positive for more than one infection. Even more reason to get checked for all 10, get cleared for all 10, and go to bed with a smile on your face, even if that's the only thing you're wearing. I'm sure your partners will agree, nothing could be sexier. Confidant Home STI Kit offers the perfect solution. Plus, Randox Health offer private GPs to provide the right antibiotic and treatment plan in case anyone does get positive test results. The expert doctors provide a personalised, private treatment plan and prescription so that you can take the action that you need to eradicate this set of infections. Don't develop diseases and stop the spread. Confidant takes care of your sexual health. It does not use it against you. Did you know insurance companies gain permission to contact doctors and access your medical records when you sign up to the terms of certain insurance policies? To check if you've had sexual health tests and the results. Did you know if you state on your insurance paperwork that you have had a test in the past for sexually transmitted infections, that the insurance algorithm can score you as high risk and increase your insurance premiums? Even if the results are negative, it says you live a high-risk lifestyle, apparently. Sounds like it's from the dark ages. We here know that Confidant will test for the 10 most common, most treatable STIs. And even if you have no symptoms showing, you will get a comprehensive profile of your sexual health. Regular testing with Randox is specifically designed to help you detect any of these 10 infections in the earliest stages, which prevents the diseases developing into long-term health damage or spreading to your partners. So get tested regularly and reliably with the Confidant Kit from Randox Health. What great news! Find these infections early and they're treatable, so you can prevent health problems and gain peace of mind with regular testing. Keep that healthy box ticked. What's more, you can pass the test as often as you like. There's no limit to how many times you can use Confidant, and keep your confidence turned on.